Okay. Okay.
I want some nasty. Are we having fun yet?
I'm not gonna sit here and act like I know who Alize Johnson is. I'm not even gonna act like I said his name right. I have no idea. Guys, please correct me if I said the name wrong. Honestly, I have no idea. I went back and I looked at stats and it was like, okay, this is kind of unimpressive, but then again, he didn't necessarily get a fair shake. So I did talk to my boy Swish Hill and my boy Impeccable, and they're very familiar with Johnson. So I'm gonna kind of mimic some of the things that they've said, but I also do have a take on it. Now, before we talk about this really quickly, thank you guys. Thank you so much for actually sharing. If anyone ordered a shirt and like yours is to come today or tomorrow, or whenever it was supposed to come, whenever you get it, please do this because this actually helps a lot. If you tag me anywhere, you know, and it's just kind of starting off because not a lot of people know about it. So please, and me just blasting the internet with advertisements isn't going to do me any favors. So if you guys just spread the love, spread the word, it really means a lot. But yeah, I really do appreciate it. Thank you guys so much. But yeah, we got it popping. I got so many other designs to do as well. Like this is great, but guys, I got so many in my head and that's being worked on. But that's besides the point. Let's talk about this, okay? It's not about me, all right? This is about Johnson. We're just gonna say Johnson. All right, so we signed him to a 1-year deal. I'm sorry, I almost said 2 because we actually gave him $2 million. And we can see here, Woj, so you know it's official. You guys know it's official. Now let's go ahead and just talk about him really briefly as far as statistics. Like I said, not a lot here, but then again, he didn't necessarily get a fair shake. I'm sorry, but I can't look at this and just put it all on him. It just really seems as if he just he didn't get a shot. I mean, I'm sorry. It's not enough to see what you got in 14 games. And then you can see 17 games the next season. This is not enough. 18 games and then 16. Yeah, he seems like one of those guys that just didn't necessarily get a legitimate shot thus far. But I will say this. He went to the G League and he made the most of it. If you guys don't recall, the San Antonio Spurs were actually interested in him back when. There we go. Yeah, Spurs reportedly interested in Johnson. So they've been interested in him since back in last March. They kind of kept their eyes on him. And we can see here, a league source says, in addition to the Raptors, the Magic, Rockets, Spurs, and Suns have also expressed interest in signing Johnson. And we can see that he put up stupid amount of numbers in the G League. Oh my goodness, I'm all over the place. In the G League, we can see here 16.6 points, 13.3 rebounds, 4.2 assists, and 1.3 steals, which is absolutely incredible. Now, another thing I want to add as well is it seems as if he's one of those guys that's very scrappy, okay? So when I talked to Swish Hill and Impeccable, basically what they told me is that he's a guy that can kind of do a little bit of everything. Anything you ask for him, or ask from him, he can do. So he kind of seems like more of a glue guy for the San Antonio Spurs. I don't know if he's one of the people that the Spurs grab and they're thinking, okay, he could be something for the future. I don't necessarily know. Now, as far as him as a player, I'm going to be completely real. When it comes to the Spurs and their decision making, I usually don't question it too much. Like, because the Spurs, as far as picking up players or as far as drafting, they're always A1. The only thing that the Spurs, in my opinion, kind of slip up with is being a little too loyal to players. Like, they might give a player way too much money and they wasn't necessarily worth it. They haven't done that lately, but I do think back at the Pau Gasol situation. That was a lot of money and not a lot came out of that. Now, signing Pau Gasol, great deal. But then when we look at the money, is like, that's quite a bit. So the Spurs kind of have like this thing where they did that for veterans a lot. They would just give them a lot of money. But that's not necessarily the case as of late. And I will say, whoever the Spurs pick up, I usually trust them. They have a really great scouting team, and they usually pick up the right type of guys. So I'm for it, okay? And we'll learn way more about him in the coming weeks. Like, I'll do some more videos on him, and we'll figure some things out. But that's besides the point. I say that's besides the point a lot. I'm sorry, but it is besides the point. What I want to talk about is this: our roster. Now, unfortunately, I can't find. Why is there's cat hair on my mic? I can't find Anything as far as like an updated roster, I keep trying to find updated rosters and they're all pretty wrong. But hey, this is the best I can get right now. Now, if you look at the roster, one thing that you'll notice is there's no room. There's no room left. And one player in particular that I'm pretty confident, or at least I was very confident before, that he was going to come back is Joe Wieskamp. Like, I really expect the Spurs to take on Joe Wieskamp. Now, here's the thing, okay? I really do believe that something is going to happen. I think the Spurs are going to make some type of room. They put a lot of effort into Joe Wieskamp. I mean, this happens all the time, right? He's on the team. Obviously, you're going to put effort into him. But I don't know, man. It just seems like we really went in on trying to correct some things with him. I have a hard time seeing him not be here, but you know, we'll wait and see for that. But one player in particular that I could see being gone, and I think that this acquisition actually kind of puts his job at jeopardy. You could say I'm wrong since it's a forward and this is kind of a guard slash forward, but Romeo Langford. From what I'm hearing about Johnson and the type of player he is, and if you guys, and by the way, if you guys know way more about Johnson, please leave it in the please just do it for all of us. But one thing that I'm hearing is that he is scrappy, and Romeo Langford, he has a lot of intangibles in his game as well. But one thing that we know the Spurs do not like is guys that don't have high motors, and that's been kind of the continuous narrative around Romeo Langford. Now, has he shown that in San Antonio? I have no idea. We haven't really gotten to see him play much at all. But I will say that if that's part of it, then I can see them kind of replacing him. And another thing too that I want to kind of bring up, I feel like the Spurs are going to make some moves, okay? But another thing I want to bring up, the fact that he has a 1-year deal, and that's what the Spurs went ahead and gave him. I don't know. I mean, the Spurs have shown interest in him previously. I have a hard time believing that you give him a 1-year deal and then he just doesn't play at all. Now it's a possibility, but I don't know. I don't know if you just put him in and he's just like someone to fill up your roster. I feel like the Spurs have shown interest before, and this is a 1-year contract to see what you got. And I just have a hard time believing he's just going to be on the roster, just be on the roster. If it was anyone else, maybe, but the fact that the Spurs have already shown interest in him previously, it just means that they do like the kid. So we'll wait and see. But that's my take on it. I feel like someone is gone. I don't think it stops here, because if it does stop here, yeah, he's going to be with the Spurs 1 year and he's automatically gone because he won't get playing time. Not with this roster, he won't get playing time. So we'll wait and see. But that's kind of my take on it. I know it wasn't like super in depth, but honestly, I don't know a lot about him, and I'm not going to sit here and like lie to you guys about it. I have no idea. But I'll learn more about him. I watched a few highlights, and I know that's not the best way to get to know a player, but I will say G League wise, he was legit. Another thing, this will be the last thing I mention, okay, about him. In the G League, the fact that he put up these amount of numbers, you see if I can get to the right one this time. There we go. No, wait, that's the wrong one again. Oh my God. It's too many things up. Wait, where is it? Wait, it was this one. It was this one all along. The fact that he put up these types of numbers as a forward is really impressive, because if you guys know the G League, I mean, it might be G for Gatorade, but it's also G for guard. That was terrible. That was a terrible joke. But the G League, it's really tailored towards guards. It's for guards to kind of get their run. That's why sending Josh Primo to the G League was the best thing for his career. And Pop even said that. But it's because the G League is typically really great for guards. Now, it's good for anybody. Big man can learn quite a bit too. But if you watch any G League games, it is guard heavy. Like guards just take over the G League. It is a literal just highlight reel of guards. So, but the fact that he was able to put up these amount of numbers, being a forward, I'm assuming he was playing forward. Okay, I'm making an assumption. He is a natural forward, so I'm assuming that. That's really impressive on his part. Super impressive. But yeah, that's all I have to say about that. Once again, if you guys want to support, I keep saying this, but clanthemerchfan.com, get yourself a shirt, man. Get yourself a shirt. Now, like I said before, I'm doing all this myself, so bear with me when it comes to orders. I'm doing everything myself. When it comes to like printing and all that. So just bear with me on the orders. I try to get as many in as possible each week. But yeah, I'm doing my thing. I'll give it to you guys later, man. You want to support the channel, there's that. or you can be I don't know what I was about to say. You can be a YouTube member or a Patreon member. I'm tired, guys. It was a long day. But yeah, deuces.